I've started this video. Oh, hello, hi, thanks for watching my channel, coming to my channel. Oh my goodness. I've started this video quite a lot of times now, and I feel like I keep messing up the words or not really explaining it well. I think whatever this take is just gonna have to be the video. Hello, welcome. I'm not normally this serious on my channel. Usually I just focus on like the light stuff and the fun stuff and sometimes emotional stuff, but this, it feels vulnerable. This is talking about my business and how I feel like recently I had a little moment of failure and it made me sad, but then I tried to turn it around. So I'll talk about that. Basically, recently, this weekend, I handed in the keys to my office. This is the key ring that they were on. Sadly, it's a broken time turner, which I think very ironic. And I put it on Instagram and asked if anyone had any questions, and it turns out, yes, you did. The gist of it was, why did you have an office? And then why don't you have an office? So I'll answer it like pretty, I'll answer it pretty like top level, and then I'll dive into a bit more detail. I had an office because I felt like I needed the space and I needed to have a separation between home and work. I now work completely from home, but I was feeling really overwhelmed and I didn't feel like I was able to switch off, and so I wanted to have a separate space. Also, at the time, I had hired a direct employee, and what I mean by direct employee is someone that works directly for my business and isn't like freelance or isn't like from my management team or my publishers, etc. And I felt like it'd be a really good space for us to have together and to expand the business of content creation. And so I found this lovely office in this little town called Olney. I've never really explained where it was because obviously privacy, but not there anymore. So it was in this lovely gorgeous town called Olney, which I absolutely love. It was a really good rate as well. It was £350 a month, which is really good for an office space, and it was big, and it was in this lovely like really old building, and I painted it pink and had new floor put in and had a sign like this one but that said Glitter HQ, on white desks and like lovely chairs, and yeah, it was really nice. I don't have it anymore. Couple of reasons. Mainly, well, the reason I don't have it is because I don't use it. I wasn't getting my money's worth out of it. Like, it was not a good exchange on value. Because I don't have staff anymore, and also I'm not looking to expand my business. I say it like expand my business in the way I was a few years ago, because I've learnt more about myself since then, and I've realised that that actually isn't really for me. I'll talk a little bit on staff, and then I'll talk a little bit on expanding and what I've learnt from that. So to condense the story of staff, because I wanted to expand, I felt like, oh, I need some help with this, and so I hired someone. She was lovely and she really brought a lot to the business. I hate calling it the business now because I now just don't even think of this, like, I don't think of Sprinkle of Glitter like the business, but it was great. She was brilliant, and then I had someone else and she was really brilliant, but what I can't offer is company culture. I just basically they left because they found better jobs, and I like to think it wasn't because they don't like me or they don't like the work, but I think I can't offer like a fun working environment. You know, like in my old job, part of what I liked about working there was I liked Barry, my boss, and I had a laugh with Alison and Emma, and there would be some chit chats at lunch and a few jokes. That's next door's dog. And like Christmas party where everyone would go out, and like some socials and like office banter and things like that. But it's just me. So I can't really offer that. I was gonna say offer that at the moment. I can't imagine ever offering that, but who knows. Never say never, but also right now I can't imagine that. And so when they left, I was like, okay, by the way, they didn't all leave at once. This was like over a series of multiple years, so we had a good time. When they left, I was like, okay, I'll pick up what they were doing in the interim, and then I'll hire someone else and I'll continue using my office space. In the end, I didn't hire someone else because I basically hit a bit of a burnout, And I was like, okay, focus on this burnout, and then we will focus on picking things back up and hiring someone else. And it was through that burnout that I realised I don't really want to expand the business in the way I thought I did. It's really difficult when your business is you. Like, if I had a product, if I was selling key rings, for example, and I wanted to expand my keyring business, well, obviously that would be making more key rings, making more exciting key rings, finding more customers for my key rings, maybe making another product alongside the key ring, etc, etc. But when your product, when the thing you're selling is basically yourself and your life, to expand that is quite hard. And so I was like, okay, well, maybe if I do bigger and better things, that will be exciting. But I didn't really want to do bigger and better things. I like homey life. I do like going to London for the day, and I do like going on holidays with my family and stuff. But for me, that's kind of like, that's what I want. Like 10 years ago, I could have only dreamed of having that. And so now I'm like, no, I'm really happy with this. But I was trying to push it more. I'll just check the time because I've got to leave to get the girls soon. I was trying to push it more and expand. And that's what caused me to have a little burnout, because I was like, this isn't really what I want. This is too much for me. This is like too much excitement, which sounds so stupid because I know that a lot of people would be like, I would love to do more and have all this, but it was too much. And so I decided, actually, you don't always have to subscribe to, like, you know, that boss babe, girl boss kind of culture. Not saying there's anything wrong with it, and if you love it and it works for you and it motivates you and inspires you, then that is a really positive thing. But for me, it was a pressure. It was like, always got to be bigger and better, and what next, and what are you going to conquer next, and what will you achieve, and what's your next big goal. But it's okay to have smaller goals if you want to, or it's okay to be content with what you have. I've been doing this job for 10 years and I love it, but it started to feel like a job. It started to feel like, okay, it just sort of felt a bit, not corporate, but just got a bit like, I don't know, like the joy of it left for me, and like the heart and soul of it left for me. And the only person's fault that was my own, because I kept thinking, oh, I've got to expand, I've got to do this, I've got to do that. And then when I had that burnout and I went for all of that therapy and had all of that thinking time, I just thought, I'm really happy with my YouTube channel and my social media and writing books and working with the brands I work with and going on some holidays with my family and having nice days. Like, listen to all of that. That's all amazing stuff. If I look back to like when I was 21 and someone said, what would you like your life to be like? If they described this, I'd be like, yeah, I'll take it. That sounds great. But I had felt like I had to have more. And when I stopped striving for more, I felt a lot better, and I noticed I was going to the office a lot less because I was working from home. I didn't have anyone to work with, so it was a bit silly to be like, well, I'll just take me, my laptop and my notebook all the way over to Aldi and work there and then come home, because I could just do it from home. But the problem I had was I'm not very good at letting things go. And I kept thinking, I might change my mind, I might use it more, I might hire someone, I might do this, I might do that. Long story short, I didn't. Someone in the comments, in the questions said, do you feel like what was the question she asked? Do you think you tried to make it work for longer than you should? And the answer is yes, because I was taught as a child to try, but I was never taught to give up or to let go. So when I handed my notice in on it, it was like a couple of months notice. I just felt relief, but also when I handed the keys in the day, I did look around the office and think, oh, I didn't make this work. It's weird because I'm so conflicted, because I'm so happy now and I feel like in a really good space, but I did feel like, oh, I couldn't make it work. Like, I couldn't give people a really exciting work environment. I didn't expand it to the point of having like a team. I'm not a very good boss. Like, I really find it hard to be someone's boss because I'm a people pleaser and I want to be friends with everyone, but I also like want to achieve things. So I just basically was not a very good boss. I hope I was a nice person. You can be a nice person and a nice boss, but that's a skill that I don't yet have. So I was just a bit wishy-washy and not very, like, Just not very good. This is whilst we're on the questions. Do you employ staff now? So no, I don't employ anyone directly, but I work with a lot of people in a freelance way. So they work for themselves. I'm not their boss, but like we work together on things, which is amazing. And in the future, I still want to expand, but in a way that's much more personal and is much more in keeping with actually what I want from life and what I want from this. So there's still projects I want to work on, like I want to have another podcast, and I would really like to dip my toe more into traditional media, but now I'm a bit clearer on what I actually want and what I think would be good. And I think there's other ways to do that. So whether you just continue working with freelancers or there's lots of other ways I think could be better for me, but also better for other people as well. Did you feel a pressure to get an office as that's what the other YouTubers were doing? Yes, I could really feel that, like that's what I think I mean by like girl boss, boss babe kind of, would we call it a culture, vibe, kind of atmosphere. I could see a lot of other YouTubers were really like expanding in really amazing ways. I was like, oh well, that's what you've got to do, otherwise you're a failure if you don't. So I did it, and I wasn't very good at it. What were the pros and cons? That's a really good question. So there were so many pros of having that office. Like I did have a really good time in there, and I hope that the girls that worked in there with me had a good time as well sometimes. If you're watching, hello. I hope you did have a good time on some other days. I think a lot of great ideas were found there. Lots of good work was done from there. I wrote a lot of time after time from there, and had a lot of laughter there. Like there was some bants. I am funny sometimes. It's just there's a difference between just two people together in an office and like a whole, like, you know, office environment. It's very different. I also liked the place. I liked the building, and I liked the little town. It was like really lovely to walk out and get your lunch, and it was lovely to have somewhere outside of work, to go outside of home to go and work. That was really good. The cons were, it was a bit of a drive away, and obviously when I wasn't using it I was just paying the rent on it, so that was a bit of a con. What else have I got on my notes? Okay, regrets. Do I regret renting the office? I regret renting it for as long as I rented it. Whilst I had a team, no, I don't regret it. I think it was the right thing. I think it was good for us to have somewhere to go that wasn't like my lounge, for me and for them. But I do regret not just having the courage and conviction to say, this is not serving me, it is okay to have had this be a small chapter, and now I will let this space go. But instead I clung on to it for almost 2 years, and I didn't need to. I didn't need it for the last just under 2 years. I should have just let it go sooner. What is that noise? Don't be alarmed, that is my neighbour putting something in their bin. Another question I've had is, now you don't have the office, how do you manage work time and home time working from home? I don't know why it feels different now, but it just does feel different. I think I'm in a better place mentally, and I'm more able to be like, okay, I'm shutting my laptop and I'm putting my phone down, and now I'm in full mummy mode. I used to be able to do that, and then I felt like I wasn't. I felt very overwhelmed. I wonder if all of this was just I was having some sort of giant burnout, and it was like slowly coming, but I was starting to feel really overwhelmed and I couldn't see the boundaries, and so having that space was really good, because I was like, now I'm at work and now I'm not. So now, I don't know, it comes very easily now just to be like, okay, we're switching off. But I think that's a confidence thing as well, having the confidence in yourself to say, I am now switching off. What are your plans now? So my plans now are to stay as I am, to work from home, but I think I'm going to work with more freelancers. I would really like I just said, podcast. I'm really enjoying YouTube at the moment. I think hopefully you can tell. TikTok, I would like to be doing a bit more of that. Traditional media, and I would really love to write a children's book, but let's not get too much into that right now. Was your landlord nice? Yes, the landlord was very nice. I left a little card saying to the management, like a little note saying thank you for having me, and they sent me a lovely email today actually saying thanks for being a lovely tenant. So in that regard, I feel like it was left really nice, even after the glitter on the stairs incident that we shall not talk about. Okay, I think all of those questions have been answered in the other stuff that I've said in this video. I think my main take on this, and it's still quite raw because I did only hand the keys back and I'm sure I'll think about it for the next few weeks, is that have confidence in yourself to let go of something when it's time to let go. It's not a failing to let go of something, it's actually a failing just to carry on doing something that's not working, for especially for as long as I did, which is nearly 2 years. You don't have to do what everyone else around you is doing. Like, we all know that. That's such a child. Like, I tell my children that, like, just because such and such is doing it doesn't mean you need to do it. But I wish I'd taken a spoonful of my own medicine, because I had looked at other content creators and I was like, they're doing so much, I need to do more, I should do so much. But what I like and what I'm good at is just this. This is my thing. Sorry about the bins outside. They're like having a heartfelt moment and then saying sorry about the bins. Like, that's very my vibe. I don't think that I am a boss babe or a girl boss or a CEO. I mean, technically I am a CEO because I do own my own business, but I'm also like the receptionist and the marketing team and the janitor and the CEO all in one. Yeah, got a better balance now. Have mixed feelings. That's kind of the end of the video. I don't really know how to wrap it up because I don't think I've fully wrapped it up in my own head. But I hope that's been interesting to you and I hope that's been inspiring. So sorry about the noise outside. If you at the moment need to let go of something, let this be your sign to let go of it happily and healthily. It's okay. If I can do it, anybody can do it. All right, I shall leave that there. I look forward to your comments. I'll be replying to them below. And I shall be back on Sunday for another 9 AM upload. All right, thanks for watching. Give this video a thumbs up if you haven't. And if you're not subscribed, why not? This is a nice place. All right, me and my empty key ring are off. See you later.